Welcome to Jesus or Muhammad. We're live in ABN. We have Sam and David both live in the studio. Today we have a very packed schedule and a special topic. We will be discussing what Muslim apologists are claiming about Jesus, and both Sam and David will be refuting their statements and claims. We will also be taking a look at a few video clips also. A lot of Muslims are saying that God cannot be born, so Jesus cannot be God, and they're saying nobody's ever seen God, so there's no way that Jesus can be God. And they're making all these other statements and claims, and so what we're going to do right now is take a quick look at a clip, but before that I'd like to introduce you both to Sam and David. Welcome back to the show, both of you, and Brother David, if you just want to give them a quick introduction about the clip that we're going to see right now.
Yes, we're going to look at a couple of clips of Dr. Zakir Naik during this program. There are tons of clips we could look at, and in the coming months we'll certainly look at more. But Dr. Naik has an amazing ability to pack so many errors into a small space that it'll take us a while to get through them. Now, as Sam and I debate Muslims, we're constantly told, hey, you better not mess with Dr. Zakir Naik, he'll mess you up. Now, the problem is we would absolutely love to debate Zakir Naik, but Zakir Naik will not debate anyone who has debate experience. Show me a debate with Zakir Naik where he faced a respected Christian debater. I'd like to see one. Since we can't face him in public debate, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of his videos and see how his claims stand up to scrutiny. So let's take a look at the first video.
एक गैर मुस्लिम हैं और इंडिया से उर्दू जानते हैं, समझते हैं। उन्होंने सवाल पूछा है कि क्या इस्लामी रियासत में हमें अपने मजहब की तबलीग की और अपनी इबादतगाहों की तामीर की इजाजत होती है? अगर होती है तो फिर सऊदी अरेबिया में और दूसरे इस्लामी मुल्कों में चर्च बनाने की परमिशन क्यों नहीं मिलती, जबकि आप मुसलमान लंदन और पेरिस में अपनी मस्जिदें बनाते हैं?
चंद इस्लामिक मुल्कों में, मिसाल के तौर पर सऊदी अरेबिया एक्सेट्रा में, propagation of any other religion is prohibited. Even construction of any place of worship is also prohibited. और इसमें कई गैर मुस्लिम कहते हैं कि हम जब आपको अलाउ करते, हमारे कंट्री में आते, यूरोप में आते, अमेरिका में आते, तबलीग करते, मॉस्क बनाते, तो हमें क्यों नहीं परमिशन है? इसका मैं सिंपल सवाल पूछता हूं उन्हें कि मैं गैर मुसलमान से ये पूछता हूं, अगर आप एक स्कूल के प्रिंसिपल है और अगर आप मैथ्स टीचर चुनना चाहते हैं और 3 टीचर आते हैं, एक टीचर से आप सवाल पूछे 2 जमा 2 कितना, पहला टीचर कहता है कि 2 जमा 2 3, दूसरा टीचर कहता है 2 जमा 2 4, तीसरा टीचर कहता है 2 जमा 2 6। तो मैं ये उनसे पूछता हूं, वो टीचर जो कहता है 2 जमा 2 3 या 2 जमा 2 6, क्या आप उसको स्कूल में रखेंगे? तो वो कहते हैं नहीं। मतलब क्यों? आप उसको पढ़ाने देंगे? बोलते नहीं पढ़ाने देंगे। क्यों नहीं देंगे? क्योंकि उसे मैथमेटिक्स का सही इल्म नहीं है। इसी तरीके से जहां दीन का सवाल है, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सुम्मा अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, हम मुसलमान जानते हैं कि इन्न दीन इंदल्लाह इस्लाम। सूरह इमरान सूरह नंबर 3 आयत नंबर 19 के आयत है कि सिर्फ एक ही सही दीन है, वो है इस्लाम। और अल्लाह ताला फरमाते हैं सूरह इमरान सूरह नंबर 3 आयत नंबर 85 में कि इस्लाम के अलावा कोई भी दिगर मज़हब अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला कबूल नहीं करेंगे। तो दीन के मामले में हम जानते हैं इस्लाम ही सिर्फ सही दीन है, इसीलिए हम दूसरे दीन का प्रोपगेशन अलाउ नहीं करते। जहां तक कि दूसरा सवाल है कि हम चर्च बनाने देंगे या टेम्पल बनाने देंगे, जब दीन ही गलत है और चर्च में ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम को पूजना गलत है, बुत परस्ती गलत है, इसीलिए हम गलत चीज हमारे मुल्क में अलाउ नहीं करेंगे। लेकिन ये सिर्फ सऊदी अरेबिया और चंद ममालिक है, सब मुस्लिम कंट्रीज को नहीं।
ये थोड़ी सी बात जो है, यानी वो तो समझ रहे हैं कि उनका मजहब ठीक है
जी, और
हम भी समझ रहे हैं कि हमारा मजहब ठीक है, गैर मुस्लिम समझ रहे हैं उनका मजहब ठीक है। अब लोगों के सामने जाहिर है कि उनको आके
एक समझ लीजिए बात
जी,
मैथ्स के अंदर वो गैर मुसलमान 2 + 2 = 3 पढ़ाने देंगे अपने स्कूल में, क्योंकि वो कंफर्म्ड है कि 2 + 2 4 ही है। तो दीन के मामले में हम कंफर्म नहीं। अगर वो कंफर्म होते तो गलत चीज क्यों पढ़ाने देंगे? उसी तरीके से हम जब रूल कर रहे हैं कौन सी कंट्री, हमें 100% पता है कि इस्लाम के अलावा दिगर मज़ाहिब सही नहीं है।
यहाँ कोई ह्यूमन राइट्स का मसला, कोई ऐसी बात,
ह्यूमन राइट्स का सवाल नहीं। हाँ, अगर कोई प्रैक्टिस करना चाहता है मुस्लिम कंट्री में, अपने घर में प्रोपगेट नहीं कर सकता है। इसी तरीके से कोई टीचर अपने दिमाग में सोचता है 2 + 2 = 3 तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं, लेकिन बच्चे लोग को पढ़ाएंगे तो हम इसको बिल्कुल ये नहीं करेंगे कि हमारे बच्चों का पढ़ाओ 2 + 2 = 3। इसी तरीके से साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी में लोग माहिर है. हम साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए लोग को बुलाते हैं अमेरिका से, यूरोप से. आओ हमारे मुल्क में साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी में आप माहिर है, हम आपसे सीखेंगे. लेकिन दीन के मामले में हम माहिर है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. तो इसी तरीके से जहां तक के उनका सवाल है, उन्हें अभी तक के इतना दे आर नॉट कंफर्म्ड इट. सो वी आर ट्राइंग टू गेट देम टू द राइट पार्ट ऑफ इस्लाम. देयरफॉर वी प्रोपेगेट आवर रिलीजन टू द नॉन-मुस्लिम्स.
Okay, real quick before I turn it over to David to go ahead and discuss that video, I want to remind our viewers that the lines are open. We will be here all night till about 1 a.m., so give us a call live in the studio at 248-416-1300. Make sure that you call in, get your questions and comments in. Tonight's topic is refuting Muslim apologists, so make sure that you call in 248-416-1300. Mike's all yours. Go ahead.
Well, notice that in that video, Dr. Zakir Naik was defending oppression of non-Muslims. He's saying if you're a non-Muslim in a land where Muslims have power and authority, you will not be permitted to preach your religion, to share your religion with other people. You can't do that. So he is defending oppression here, and he defends it in an interesting way. He makes a correct point, namely that if you owned a school and you were going to hire someone to be a math teacher, and you're looking for candidates, and you see that someone believes that 2 plus 2 equals 3, or that someone believes 2 plus 2 equals 6, you certainly wouldn't hire that person. The only person you're going to accept is someone who says that 2 plus 2 equals 4. So, similarly, why would you allow a Christian to teach in your land when the Christian is going to say things that are false? This apparently makes sense to Muslims, but it's important to keep in mind Dr. Naik is saying that Islam is so true that it's just like the claim that 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's how certain Muslims are that Islam is the true religion. And he's saying we're even willing to oppress people. We're even willing to oppress non-Muslims because we're that certain. Islam is the religion that teaches 2 plus 2 equals 4, because the claim that Muhammad is a prophet of God, that the Quran is the word of God, is that certain. So it's so certain that any other religion should not be tolerated because they're all wrong. Now, the question I'd like to focus on now is Islam that certain? Is it that obviously true? Because if we say that, let's say 1 plus 1 equals 2, if anyone doubts this, I say, well, here's one pen and here's another pen, and I put them together. How many do you have? You have 2. And if you don't see that, then you're irrational. There's something wrong if you do not see that 1 plus 1 equals 2. So is there just something wrong with someone if they say that Muhammad is not a prophet or that the Quran is not the word of God? Well, let's think about some of the facts here so we can see whether that claim is true. Think about Muhammad. Muhammad is the only prophet in all of history who, after he started receiving revelations, was convinced that his revelations were demonic in origin. When Muhammad began receiving revelations, he was convinced that he was demon-possessed. He went to Khadijah, and she called her cousin Waraka, and they convinced him. They convinced him, no, you're not demon-possessed. You're a prophet of God. That's why this is happening to you. So think about this. Your faith, Muslims, your faith in Islam rests on your belief that Khadijah and Waraka could correctly identify a prophet of God. So I would like to invite you to call us and tell us why you trust Khadijah and Waraka. Because remember, Muhammad thought he was demon-possessed when he started hearing voices or whatever you want to say. Muhammad thought he was demon-possessed. It was other people who weren't there, who didn't see what he saw. They convinced him that he was a prophet. So your faith in Islam actually rests on them. So Muhammad is the only prophet in history who thought he was demon-possessed. Muhammad is the only prophet in history who became suicidal because of his revelations. Muhammad tried to hurl himself off a cliff because he believed he was demon-possessed.